Good evening, everyone. This is KETO coming at you today. What is this? It's day 24 right now. It's almost 8. It's 8:30. I've had about 14 grams of carbohydrates today, and I'm proud of myself. I may take in about 25, but by the time I go to bed, but I want to go to bed now. But I'm watching Homestead How, and Kerry is interviewing Steve Borchett. This guy, he's 74 years old, and he's talking about how he had AFib and he was down to 10% heart function. And he started just like me, he started with keto and got down to 20 to 50 a day after a little while. Then he transitioned over to carnivore. And he said his heart went back to regular function, feels great, brain fog. He was at 256 pounds. Looking at his picture right now, he is not 256 pounds. His doctors don't know what's going on. And he suggested a book called Wheat Belly. I got that on my library thing, audiobook. I'm going to start listening to that probably tonight. And another book, The New Atkins for a New You. I'm going to have to get that one through Amazon, because just let everybody know I'm skeptical. Nobody wants to make a big huge mistake, but it's just like they're saying in this interview. You got to watch this interview. Maybe I'll put the link down at the bottom. There are people or entities who find it okay to not tell us the truth. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I have the same problem in a lot of American churches too. That's a whole nother thing of mine. But not wanting to tell the truth, not wanting to tell us the truth in the medical field, is costing people money. It's costing people their lives. And like I said, I still say there are vegans who are doing fine, excelling. It seems like they get way down the line and something pops up in their 50s and stuff. But when you're talking about just getting that weight off, do what you got to do. But still, something ain't right. I just don't know how this country could let certain things just be, let us eat certain things. I mean, I think everybody would agree that Fruit Loops being banned in other countries is probably common sense. But here in the home of the brave, Saturday morning cartoons, after school, toucan is all over the place doing what they got to do. But then we start thinking like, there are soups that people can't eat in other countries that they serve here. This ketchup can't be served in Canada. Canada got their own dang ketchup. They own ketchup. They won't even let me Heinz ketchup in Canada. I see the similarities, but between our countries, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? And I don't know where this came. Well, I do know where it come from. I know don't know her name. She's a psychologist. I think she studied this whole thing, or nutritionist. But she studied this whole thing. If you're old enough to remember when the cigarette companies were nearing the end, they knew that they were going down the tubes. So they invested in food companies and liquor companies. And then they kind of made a comeback on the smoking side of the game with the vaping. But still, they're making a ton of money by possibly, allegedly, adding the same chemicals to food that they used to put in cigarettes to make you keep on coming back. That's allegedly what was being said. And it's mind-blowing when you think about R.J. Reynolds and Philip Morris and Brown and Williamson, something like that. All these companies, they lost a lot of clients over them lawsuits. They lost a lot of money, but they still exist. They still pumping out products. And my mother had to take me off of cereal. My mother had to take me off cereal when I was in the first grade, because I would get up in the morning, get my little first grade briefcase, and I would put on my Sunday clothes, sitting in front of the TV at 5:30 in the morning, watching the news, waiting to go to school. So when they took me to the doctor's like, what does he eat? Oh, cereal. Oh, you cut that out. No more Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, honeycombs, sugar bears. Honestly, can't do that no more. Sparingly in the summer, you know. So I've always had this aversity to the sugar intake. But what's crazy about that, a few years later, while I still was in high school, they had the great cereal sugar reduction. I think they've had three of those things because it seems like the FDA makes them take the sugar out, then it goes back up. They take it out again, and it goes back. They playing games with with our lives. And to be honest, I mean, by the time you go to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, who are we supposed to trust to actually raise and put stuff inside of a food store for us to buy that we can feel safe with? And that's the same thing. Like, people look at Flint, Michigan. People look at Jackson, Mississippi. They be like, ooh, they water messed up. Trust me when I say your water is probably not too much better. But what we do have in common is that all the processed foods are probably, we've probably done, I would say we've done some adverse harm to our body. I won't say it's irreparable because the body is regenerative. I mean, we not like the lizard, you cut the tail off, it grows back. But I think, like Carrie believes, and many of the doctors you see on this carnivore thing, they think this is the perfect human diet. This is a regenerative diet that helps the body to heal. So for now, I'm rolling with it. No problem whatsoever. I'm going to read, I'm going to study, I'm going to keep listening. I hope you do too. That's all I got for today. Wishing you all the best and reaching zero in your carb count tomorrow. Good night, folks.